Hi, one of the most common questions we get asked is how do I change the bulb in my oven and what type of bulb is it? So for a lot of people it can be a fairly simple process, but I thought I'd make a video to show you how easy it is to show you how to change the bulb in an oven and also what type of bulb you should be using, because sometimes they can be really difficult to read. You must admit there's nothing more annoying than going to your oven and then finding that the light doesn't work inside, especially when you're mid-cooking. That can be really annoying. Okay, this one's fine. But what you'll find is there are quite a few different types of bulbs. Some of them are little SES bulbs like this, which range from 15, 25, 40 watts. Also there are these type, which are the halogen bulbs. These are more commonly used now. But what I want to do is to go through quite a few different brands, whether it's the built-in or integrated type of oven, and I'll try and do some freestanding cookers as well to try and show you the location of the bulb and also what type they use. And what I will do is I will post some links at the bottom, because sometimes people are searching on the internet trying to look for these type of bulbs. So if I just post some at the bottom here, just really with some sort of competitive prices, just try and make it easier for you. So let's have a look. So just really a couple of tips before I start. When you go to attempt this, I know it sounds really silly, but make sure the oven is cold. I have had a customer before where they've come in and they've actually burnt the hand because they tried to do it when the oven was still hot. The next one is make sure that you've got clean hands, because what you'll find is if you are going to go and take the bulb out, then sometimes if you have got greasy hands it can make it a lot more difficult. And especially when you go to put in the new bulb, just make sure that you've got clean hands, because sometimes the halogen bulbs especially can be affected by grease. The next thing is just to make sure that you don't touch the bulb when it's on, because clearly this one's working okay, but it's just really sensible to, again, especially with some of the high wattage bulbs, then you can find that they do get very hot, so don't touch it when it's on. Just make sure also that you've got plenty of space to work in. Okay, at the moment we would be okay, but just make sure that you just take some of these racks out just to get them out of the way. Okay, so the first one is a Neff oven, and there are quite a few different designs of the Neff ovens, but I think the actual principle is the same. What you will find is that a lot of these ovens are new, so when you find random bits of cardboard in the oven, then don't be worried, I'm not going to have the oven turned on with this, with the cardboard in. So as we go inside, you will notice on the Neff one that it is in the middle at the top, and it's a simple process of turning. You will find that some of them are clockwise and some are anti-clockwise, but with this one is one of the G9 halogen bulbs, and sometimes I'll try and show you, but so this one isn't too bad, but the majority of Neff ovens are actually a 25 watt G9 bulb. And again, I'll post a link at the bottom there. But the other thing you do need to be aware of, just try and take you in there, because what you will find sometimes there can be quite difficult to get back in. So you just need to make sure, that's it. So especially with these bulbs, because the pins on them can be quite delicate, when you're pushing it in, just make sure that you're pushing it in straight, and that's why it can be important to get the shells out of the way, just to make sure that the bulb is going in straight so you don't damage the pins. And then you've got a glass cover. This is fairly standard on most of the brands, and all you do is once you've finished, that just goes back on, so you twist it on there, and just do it finger tight, it doesn't need to be any more than that. And that one is for the Neff oven. So the next one to show you is in a Bosch integrated oven, and what you will find is that because Neff, Bosch and also the sister company Siemens a lot of them are made in similar factories, then you will find that a Presto uses the same type of bulb, and I would recommend that you check each one. But on these ovens and the majority of ovens we've got at the moment, then they are the same bulb, which is the G9 25 watt bulb. And you can find that the casing design is slightly different, and it does say on there, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it does say maximum 25 watts, so that's quite useful. And you can find that the location of the bulbs can vary as well. So again, I've just made sure that that's just finger tight, it doesn't need to be any tighter than that. What you can find, just as a tip, I'd recommend not doing it too tight, because you can find once you start to get dirt on these, and once the heat's got on it, sometimes it can actually be really difficult to undo. And the worst thing you can do is to break it or to smash it, because you can find getting the shards out, especially if you've got some in the thread, then that can be quite difficult to remove. So I'll just show you this. This is a Bosch double oven, and I won't show you how to change the bulb because it's exactly the same as this process I just showed a minute ago. But you've got the light in the main oven there, and because it's a double oven, hopefully you've got an oven at the top as well, and you've got the bulb at the top. So if you have got that, then it's exactly the same process. And again, just check the bulb to make sure it's the 25 watt G9, which the majority of the Bosch and Neff and sister company Siemens are using. So the next one I'll show you is a Beko double oven, and it's just interesting showing that this one has a promotional 2-year warranty. It's just really to note that any of the bulbs to be replaced are not normally covered by the warranty, just really because it's classed as a consumable. So there's no point contacting the manufacturer to say the bulb was gone in your oven, because most of the time that sort of thing wouldn't be covered. So on this Beko double oven, clearly you can see I've already taken the shelves out just to make it easier. On this one, it's actually at the back, so I'd say personally it's not quite as easy to get to. But on this one, this is a slightly different bulb. So yeah, on this one, this is using a 25 watt bulb. But again, I'd recommend checking on your individual oven to make sure it is the wattage as required. And then once you got the new bulb, then that just screws in. What you do want to make sure, especially when you're putting the bulb in or the covers, that you don't cross thread anything, because that can damage the housing or the bulb itself. And then that's replaced in the Beko oven. So I'll just show you the freestanding oven. This is a Beko one, and I won't go through the process of showing you the actual bulb, mainly because it's in the same location as I just showed you on the integrated oven. It's at the back left there, and it's the same 25 watt SES bulb as the one I just showed you. The other thing to note is that if you have got, say, one of the Beko single cavity ovens, then on some of the models they don't have a bulb. So if you're wondering why the light inside isn't working, then that's because on some of the products they don't have a bulb. The next one I'll show you is a Baling double oven. Because Baling are part of the same group as Stoves and New World, then what you should find is if you have got a Stoves or New World cooker, then chances are they will use the same type of bulb as this one. But you can find that it could be different. But let's have a look inside. So on this oven, it's actually at the back on the right hand side, and just twist it. On this you have got like a washer going around the outside, so just be careful you don't mislay that. And on this one, the bulb, once we've done that, so again it's the SES, and that one is a 25 watt bulb, so it's going back to the traditional bulb. The only thing to make sure, and I will point it out again probably towards the end of the video, is just make sure when you buy these bulbs, make sure you get them that they are protected up to 300 degrees C. There are some fridge bulbs that look identical to this, but just make sure you don't get them mixed up. You just want to make sure they are the proper oven bulbs. So just make sure that gets screwed in properly, and again just make sure that that washer around the outside is still on. And that just screws back into place. So I just thought I'd show you this. This is another Baling oven, just prove that there. So this is one of the Baling single ovens, and I just thought I would show you, put my teeth back in. So the location of the bulb is still at the back, and once you unscrew that, put that to the side. On this one, once I pull that out, that's using the 25 watt G9 bulb. So whereas one of the double ovens is using the SES bulb, this is using the G9 bulb. So even though they are the same brand, then even within their product range they can be using different bulbs. That's often down to, can be sometimes down to the age of the product, or sometimes they're made in different factories across the world. So the next one to show you is this company. This is Blomberg. As members of Euronics in the UK, we sell a lot of Blomberg products. And on this one, this is basically at the back on the left hand side. So that just unscrews, and similar principle to quite a few of the other ovens. Once I've managed to unscrew it, that this uses the standard SES bulb, and that's a 25 watt. And that's nice and easy to get into. I suppose really I shouldn't be holding the camera in one hand and trying to lean over the door, because it makes it very difficult. And then once you've got that screwed back in place, then just put the cover back on. So there we go, that's all back in place on the Blomberg oven. So I'll show you the Blomberg freestanding oven, because on this one, so at the back, so it's on the back left hand side, and that just unscrews, and I just need to make sure I've got the washer as well. So on this one, whereas most brands are using the same type of bulb on their freestanding and built-in ovens, this one is one of the G9 bulbs, so slightly different from the built-in one. And again, just make sure that when you put it back in, it's completely flat and you locate it properly. Something just to be aware of is when you are dealing with putting the bulb in, I did mention that ideally you should take the shelves out. Just make sure that when you're dealing with some of these, especially something like this at the back, because some of these can be very, very sharp. I say that from personal experience, because I did cut myself on something like this recently, so just be careful. So the next one I'll show you is a Hotpoint oven, just to prove that at the bottom. And as with most brands, they put them at the back of the oven. With this model, and they do vary, they've put it right at the front. So that can make life a little bit easier if we get into it. And on this one, it is using the G9 bulb again a 25 watt. So that's nice and easy to take out. And then I suppose this is proving that not all the bulbs are in the same place. Just make sure that's put back in properly, so that's screwed back in. And just to show you above, I have got another Hotpoint oven, and with this, so I won't show you exactly, so it's not at the same place as the other model. So despite it being the same manufacturer, this one is at the back here. That's one of the more traditional places, but again on this model that'll use the same G9 bulb like most of the other appliances have. This is one of the Hotpoint freestanding cookers, and as we come inside the oven, then it's just at the back on the right hand side. And with this bulb, this is the standard 25 watt SES bulb, and once you've finished, or once you've got a new bulb, then make sure it's located properly, just finger tight, and put the cover back on, and then you're ready to go. And that'll be the same on Indesit products. So if you have got an Indesit oven, then you should find that that should be the same process for changing the bulb as well. So I hope you found it useful on how to replace the bulb in your oven, so that you can get light in there like on this one. What you will find is that there will be some manufacturers or some brands that I haven't covered. What you can do is, if you leave me a comment below in the YouTube video, then ideally with the make and probably the model number as well, then I'll have a look to see which one is best for you. Please give me a thumbs up on a YouTube video, click subscribe and leave any comments below. I'd always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad about the video, or again, if you've got one of the products, then if you're not sure about, then leave me a comment. What you'll also find is I've left some links below to show you where to get some of the bulbs at competitive prices. What you'll often find is that rather than buying singly, they sometimes come in say 2s or 3s, because it can be as cost effective, because especially if you're buying online, then it could be the postage that really bugs it up. Anyway, thanks for watching.